Jack Brabham and the Repco Brabham racing car. The combination that has now won 4 successive Grand Prix and has made this Australia's greatest year ever in motorsport.
It is one of the most amazing stories in Australia and in F1 in general. You know, that my father won the Formula One World Championship 60 years ago. He's the only one ever to do it in his own car.
The year that has brought the Drivers and Constructors World Championship to Australia's Jack Brabham, 3 times world champion, has become almost legendary.
My first memory of this beautiful car was actually sitting at Bankstown. My father had a Ford dealership, and opposite where all the cars were, he had a shed. And in that shed was this beautiful Repco Brabham BT19 that had dust over it, had no protection whatsoever. And I'd be sitting in it going, brum, 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 look at me, I'm a racing driver. Not even thinking that I would end up being one, but you know, I was pretending to be a racing driver. So that was my first real memory of the BT19.
Jack Brabham's car is an unknown quantity at this moment, but soon the Australian V8 engine is to make its presence felt in this highly specialised field of motor racing.
There was probably, in the 60s, a small window where a driver could come in, build his own operation, build a car, put the name on it and go and win a world championship. And there was only ever happened once. Compare that to today's world, it's another world. It's just another world. You know, you've got 1,000+ employees in these Formula One teams. Yeah, Dad probably had 6, you know what I mean? I don't think you'll ever see it again.
And the race develops into a duel between number 2 and number 4, but the Ferrari is not going to catch the Repco Brabham.
I think one of Dad's big motivations in racing was to beat Ferrari. Because for him, you know, Ferrari were the pinnacle. So if you've beaten Ferrari, that's saying something. There's a true David and Goliath story. An amazing achievement, really.
In this race, Jack is proving that he's not too old at 40. He's led from start to finish to win at an average speed of 95.49 miles per hour with Denny Hulme second. Jack's Repco Brabham has lapped every other car in the race except Denny's.
Dad wasn't really a talker, but when he started talking about the old times, you'd just sit and listen for hours listening to it, you know. And he had a lot of stories, not just I think, you know, about the car, but also the people, the teammates, the camaraderie that they had there, and they were brave back then, there's no doubt about it. It was a dangerous period. They lost a lot of friends, and I think in 1970 when Dad retired, I think a lot of that came from losing Bruce McLaren and Jochen Rindt, who he was both very close with. Every time you go out there, you know, my mum never knew if he was going to come back for after that run. The fact that he did understand his car so well, I am sure, kept him alive as well.
The Repco Brabham engine is a unique contrast. Its parts come from Repco plants located throughout Australia. Melbourne is the main manufacturing centre, with gaskets from a Repco factory in Brisbane, Queensland, cylinder linings from a Repco plant in Sydney, New South Wales, and bearings from yet another in Tasmania.
The Repco Brabham V8 was that, just a V8, like a Chevy block, modified obviously internally and on the heads and everything with Repco engineering behind it, and came up with a world beater, basically.
Repco, rather to its astonishment, finds that it's the world's leading manufacturer of Grand Prix racing engines.
You know, when you think about, you know, what my father and Ron Turenak achieved with Repco, it kind of blows your mind a little bit. You know, it is pretty incredible. You know, with Ron's talent, he gets overshadowed, he gets overlooked a bit because obviously my father won the championship, so a lot of people want to talk about Jack. You know, as a family, we've never forgotten what Ron's contribution was, and he should be as celebrated as my father for sure.
Brabham has already put Australian motor engineering on the world map.
One of the great things about what Repco do with this car, they don't stick it in a museum where no one gets to see it, or it's locked up in their offices. They do what they can to allow people to come up and have a look at it. and talk to the people around about the car and the engine and so forth. It was an Australian effort, you know, it's built by Australians, Australian engine. It is a fantastic Australian achievement. They created history together.